Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Boosted John YouTube channel. Today, I am going to be showing you how to apply vinyl wrap to your car's hood with zero experience. I have never done this before and my car went from looking like this to looking like this. There are a lot of videos out there that teach you how to vinyl wrap a car, but there aren't many out there that are taught from a complete noob's perspective. I'm a complete noob to this, and I'm going to be teaching you how to do this in noob terms with noob moves and noob techniques. If you are new to vinyl wrapping, I promise you this video is going to provide a ton of value to you, so stick around to the end to see exactly how we get this wrap onto the hood. I promise that if I can do it, you can do it, and it's actually super easy. Before we begin, I just want to give a quick thank you to the guys out at Extreme Graphics in Lombard, Illinois. Link to their stuff in the description down below. They hooked me up with this gloss black 3M 2080 series wrap, and that is what is on my hood right now. So thank you to them. Check out the link in the description down below to check out their stuff. And with that said, let's get started. This is what the hood on the 2008 Honda Civic SI looks like before anything has been done. I did actually start to sand half of the hood, but other than that, nothing has been done to prep the surface. You'll see right off the bat, this is very rough. And the sanded side is already much smoother. This is only with 220 grit. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to dry sand the entire hood with 220, and then I'm gonna go back and wet sand with about 800 or 1000 grit, get this hood looking nice and smooth, and we are going to be off to the races. So here we are, I'm just hand sanding it to start. Like I said, this is 220, I believe. Oh, it's 160 grit. Either way, it's super rough, so I'm just trying to knock down all of this grit because this hood looks like garbage. And if I can fix this hood and make it look awesome for only $100 worth of material, I would say that that's a huge win. Be very careful not to hit your fenders or any other good paint. Even like the tiniest bit that you touch it with sandpaper is going to scratch it. So I should have taped this off, but I didn't. So the first round of sanding is done with 220. Oh shit, I forgot to lock the e-brake. This car is rolling. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this hood down just with like a microfiber towel, get the dust off, and then I'm gonna go back and wet sand with something with a much higher grit. This is a bunch of sandpapers. This is Harbor Freight. 1200, 1000. Let's see here. 500. Yeah, I think we'll go to 500 next. Look guys, this is how bare bones I'm doing this. Seriously, if I can do this, you can do this. My garage doesn't even have running water, so I'm gonna go ahead and just use a bottle of drinking water and wet sand this baby. And I don't know, wet sanding with 500 feels weird, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh, never mind, it feels pretty good. I'm pushing a little bit harder with the 500, like just barely, like I'm still just barely putting any pressure on it, but I am pushing a little bit harder with the 500 grit, just a tad, a little bit more weight on my hand basically. I'm not even really pushing. Trying to get this as smooth as possible because any imperfections in the paint, we will see in the wrap. That's not from me, I don't know that, but my guys over at Extreme Graphics advised me on how to do this, and so I'm advising you guys based on what they told me. All right, wet sand done. I'm gonna saturate the whole hood so that I can wipe it down a little bit easier. Just get this all. Ooh, dude, it's so much better right now than when we started. Look at that, the rag's not getting caught up or anything. It's still a little bit rough here in the middle section, which I will spend a little bit more time on the next sanding round. God, is it looking so much better already. This should be the last round of sanding. There are some areas that are down to bare metal right now, but I might just hit a little dab of spray paint on those areas. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. Guys, I'm not gonna keep making you watch me sand. I'm just gonna advise you guys to get up to about 1000 grit before you start wrapping. I will see you when I'm done sanding. So the hood is wet sanded. The next step is going to be to clean it as best as possible. I have alcohol, I have towels, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna get it as clean as I possibly can so there's nothing on the surface. There are some areas on my hood that are down to bare metal. In my case, I'm just gonna wrap over it. I just decided that I'm gonna wrap over it. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I'm like you, I'm learning this for the first time, so I'm gonna just wrap over the bare metal spots. I'll show you guys that in a second. But before any of that, we have to get it super clean. All right, stage one, it is mostly dry. I'm gonna go ahead and just hit the entire thing with a microfiber just to pick up any dust, which there's definitely a lot. Let's see, watch this. But this is black. Yep. So there's a ton of dust on here that we can't really see. I'm gonna try to get as much of it up as I can with this microfiber. I'm kind of using it as a tack rag. Obviously, you would actually use like a tack rag or like a tack towel to get this dust picked up. But I don't have that because I'm like you and I am just a dude with a car in a garage that I want to look better. I didn't go out and buy tack rags. I am not prepared to do this, as most of you guys probably are in the same shoes. I'm just doing this with what I have lying around the garage. That happens to be a microfiber towel and some Harbor Freight sandpaper. It's already feeling so much smoother, so much cleaner, just from that one pass. Let's see how black this looks. Yeah, that's a lot of dust. Next round, flip this thing over, let's hit it again. It's still a little rough in this section, according to the towel, but according to my hand, it feels really smooth, so I'm gonna let it slide. And let's see what this side looks like. Hopefully a little cleaner than before. It's a little better for sure. Now we're gonna hit this with rubbing alcohol. It'll be super clean. This is 70% rubbing alcohol. It evaporates a little bit slower because it's a little bit lower in alcohol content. So that's my alcohol of choice for this. Just so that way we have a little bit extra time to work with here. But use whatever you got. Obviously like a wax remover / degreaser would be even better. But this stuff is just awesome because it's gonna allow me to pick up a bunch of stuff that I couldn't while the hood was dry. And then it's also going to evaporate in a reasonable amount of time so that I can get to work. That's looking way better, especially for a wet pass. Dude, this car is so dirty now. I have to go pick up my girlfriend and her mom from the airport in like 20 minutes. That's pretty funny. But this is looking very clean. Okay guys, slight change of plans. I do have to leave, like I said, to go pick up my girlfriend and her mom from the airport. Like right now, since I sanded the hood down to bare metal in a couple spots and it's kind of gross outside, I don't want it to start rusting while I'm driving right now. Like I'll be back here in like an hour to wrap the hood, but I don't want it to start rusting in the meantime. So I am gonna spray a little bit of sandable primer onto those spots just to prevent any rust. I'll resand that area when we get back here and basically start over. I'll just see you guys once those areas are sanded and we're back to this stage where we're prepped and basically ready to wrap. I'll see you guys when we're ready to wrap, but I'll show you the primer work that I do. All right, finally back in the garage. I did, like I said, primer the bare metal spots. I just sanded it all back down so everything is smooth, everything is clean, everything is dry. The surface, like I said, is fairly clean. This is a clean hand. Didn't pick up too much dust. I might wipe it one extra time, might as well. There's a small streak right here. You can actually feel this with your finger, so you will see this in the wrap. So I need to sand that down. I really don't want to push through. 1000 grit, still wet. A little alcohol through here again. Painting this area probably wasn't worth it, but it is what it is. All right, now it is that time to try to lay the film down. Again, I am a noob. I have no idea what I'm doing. This could go extremely horribly. I was pretty confident going into this, but I am getting a little bit nervous now. My plan is to get it on nice and clean, nice and flat, and then tuck it into the corners, open the hood, fold it under, trim it. That's the plan. All right, here goes nothing. I'm kind of scared here. Maybe I stick the back edge first and then stretch it down. So I'm gonna peel the whole like back edge. Dude, and again, I've said this multiple times, I'm a complete noob. I've never done this before. I'm just giving this a try and doing it in a way that I think is best. But I am by no means a pro. I'm doing this with the most humble of attitudes because there are probably 100 people watching this that could do it better than me as we speak. All right, this next part is kind of a wing it move. I don't exactly know if this is the right idea, but I'm gonna cut the paper. Get that out of the way, so that way I can stick this whole back edge and then pull down across the hood. I know this stuff is designed to be super stretchy, so I'm gonna try to take advantage of that. Let's go maybe to there with that. And I'm just gonna stick this down. Yeah, there's so many wrinkles in that, but it's okay. So I cut it really close, but that is my starting point. So I got a lot of creases here. But now I think we can go ahead and pull off the whole entire sheet and stretch and lay it down flat, hopefully. Honestly, if this wrap turns out good, my biggest problem is that the rest of the car isn't gonna look as good. Oh, I should trim this. No sense in working with extra material. It's just gonna get in my way, I guess, right? Let's see, maybe I have to fold this over. Yeah. And we're done. I'm gonna work out like a section at a time. It's gonna be my focus for now. So I was watching a video on how to do this, and they were kind of like going back to where they have their creases, kind of just taking it up just past there, and then they would pull like hard, like pull hard, and just lay it down as best they could. And that actually already looks really solid. We got some creases up here that I'm gonna work out. The middle section, dude, looks flawless. That was pretty mint, honestly, for a first try right there. I'll take it any day. Like, this section is pretty dang good. Yeah, we got one crease there. Dude, shit's easy. Dude, there's something under the wrap right there, and I really want to get it out. I don't know if it's worth picking it up to try to get it, though. That's the thing. I can probably get my hand in there. I actually got it. Dude, I think that this quadrant of the hood is pretty much done. All right, let me get another close up here for you guys and what I'm about to do. All right, honestly guys, this is way easier than I thought it was gonna be. Everyone was hyping this up to be like the most challenging thing since slicing bread. What I'm gonna try to do here, I'm just gonna lift up and just stretch this. See, so this is pinched. I'm just gonna stretch it to pull it apart and down, and that should do it. Check it out. So probably get a hand here, because like perpendicular to the lines. So I'll get a hand here, probably a hand like, I don't know, down here somewhere. Because think about it, like if I'm gonna unstick all these, then the only point that's still stuck is like past them, right? So consider this area that's holding on to the hood, consider that a hand. So that's one hand perpendicular to the lines. Here's another hand perpendicular to the lines. And then my other hand is gonna be pulling out to stretch this whole material. That's what I'm gonna do here. Let's see. Hopefully this works. Pretty close. Still got a couple here, which I think I can work out from over here. All right, one more right here. See, now this is gonna be a pain because the hood is under flush. I think at this point in time would be a good time to pop the hood. Yeah, that made it way easier to see the line for sure. Oh, that was not good. That was not ideal. I gotta be more gentle. Too strong for this game, dude. Dude, premium auto styling who? Fucking Boosted John auto styling all day. All right, now this crease might be a pain. I think I'm gonna have to work from over here. Pull this whole section this way. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I can just stretch it out completely. Let's see. This whole thing. Oh, making it worse. This corner is just proving to be a tad tricky. Okay, I gotta stretch something. All right, here goes. This is the money shot, boys. Oh, I think that's pretty mint, actually. Here goes. Ooh, so close. Oh, dude. I think that was it. That was not what I wanted to happen, boys. I'll tell you that. That was so close. If only I could hit the rewind button on that one. That crease is bad news. Now you may be wondering why I just did what I did, because it might have looked like I had it perfect on camera. I was close, but there was a little bit of a line up here from when I folded the material back on itself, and I wasn't sure if that was gonna be an issue. In the philosophy of do it right the first time, I just decided to pull it up and check it out and make sure that I'm doing quality work. That's like an air pocket. Dude, I'm sweating big time, boys. What's the temperature in here? 69 degrees? Jesus H. What? Where did you come from? Another air bubble. And that one's really low. That one's gonna be hard to get. Nice. I'm gonna keep working. When I get it all figured out, I'll show you guys what we got. Poke through, try to follow that distance. Folding it under. Trying not to introduce any air bubbles. All right, we're all stuck down. I'm gonna do the satisfying part of peeling off the clear in just a moment. One last thing that I wanna do here is just hit every edge with the hard side of this squeegee. I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do, but just make sure that the edges are pressed down, because if I did all this work just for an edge to peel up, I'm gonna be pissed. Am I about to do the entire car in black before I wrap it the color that I actually want to wrap it, just so that it doesn't look like a turd? I don't think so. I don't think so. For the grand finale, let's see how I did. Dude, is it perfect? No. Is it so much better than it was before? Oh my God, dude. Dude, it literally makes the rest of my car look like shit. All right, so here's my final take on wrapping your hood. Is it worth it? Yes. Will it make the rest of your car look worse? Probably, because this is now the best looking panel on the entire car by far. Obviously, let's give it a week, let it get dirty. Is that an air bubble? Anyway, let's give it a week, let it get dirty. Maybe then, it won't stand out as much against the rest of the body. Was it impossible to do? No, I did it. Is it perfect? Also, no. I don't really have any creases or like lines that look really terrible, but I do have a lot of debris. So spending a little bit more time in the cleaning process and making sure that you don't get any debris on the backing of the 3M stuff. Like, dude, if you get debris on this and then you set this on your hood to lay it out, now that debris that was on there is now on your hood and then you don't even realize it, and then you wrap over it and it's all in your wrap. So that's probably my biggest critique, self-criticism here, is that you can probably see, let's see if I can get it, right here. So I do have quite a few like particles, especially across this line where I folded it over, but there are quite a few like little, like all that debris right there, right? It's really hard to see on camera, but there are quite a few spots that are like that, especially along this top edge. For the most part, I think I'm pretty happy with how this came out. Is it worth it? For $100, you get to wrap your hood yourself, have the fun experience of doing it. You get to learn something. You get to make your car cooler in the process. And if you do it with some buddies and a couple beers, I'm sure it is a fantastic time. Unfortunately, that was not an option for me today. Trust me, when I go to wrap this whole car, there are gonna be many, many, many beers involved in that process, I am sure. So I'll see you guys tomorrow when it's daytime, so we can inspect this further and see how it actually looks in sunlight. All right, guys, we are back over at the garage, and I'm going to show you what the wrapped hood looks like after about 4 days of driving the car with the wrap on it. I've been parking the car outside, I've been driving it in the rain, and I have not cleaned it, not washed it since the day we wrapped it. And there it is. I think it looks absolutely incredible, and honestly, like, to be completely honest with you, I did a much better job than I thought I was going to, and that means that you can too. Everybody and their grandma hypes up how hard wrapping something is, and obviously I had like the easiest panel to work with and one of the best materials to work with that there possibly is, 3M, right? But still, you can do this. I promise you can do this. I'm trying to find like the worst possible angle for you guys so that it looks really legit, right? Like, I'm trying to make it so that it looks bad, but like really, it looks really good, like all around, completely. There's one like line right here, which I don't even know, I might even be able to just squeegee that out a little bit. But otherwise, guys, it looks amazing. Is it worth it? Yes. Can you do it? Absolutely. Should you? Well, if your hood looks like a Weber grill like mine did, then yeah, I would say absolutely get to work, boys. Anyway, that was one of the last steps before the 8th gen is pretty much put on hold for our next big project on the channel, which has yet to be announced. Obviously, the main goal, the end goal for this thing is to make it look really good for Automotion coming up in the spring, and also get it ready for some road course track use next summer. For right now, we're just getting it driving, getting it comfortable, getting it out on the road, and getting it set up looking okay, and then we will go crazy with it very soon here in the near future. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I am doing YouTube full time now, so it really does help me get noticed in the algorithm and helps me grow. So it's the most free and helpful way to support a small business and support what I do. As I always say, let's remember to plan, commit, execute, and attain our goals. Bye guys.